couple times in this company, 2016, I was on the board of directors for EXP, and I came into the room, and in November 5th, I remember, 2016, I said, our company changed today. They, what happened? I said, Brent Gove just joined. That's a true story. The next year I come in, I go, our company just changed again. They go, what do you mean? I said, Jay Kinder and Michael Reese just joined. Let me tell you, there's a movers and shakers that changed our world, but this is one of them. Let's give it up for Jay Kinder!
What's up? Y'all ready to have some fun? I'm probably the only person that got lint rolled before I got up here on stage. My wife would think that's really funny, actually. Yeah, so, quick story. So I did a three-way call this morning at 6 o'clock, and the guy was really interesting, and as I asked him more and more about what are you trying to do, he's like, man, I make $10 million a year. I'm not trying to move companies. You know, I'm not really trying to improve my production. He said, I really want to work on my marriage with my wife. And I told him, I said, and he's one of the, you know, who does he follow? What's the guy's name about getting out of debt? The guy's out of debt. He's literally basically free. Ramsey. Okay, yeah. So he follows Dave Ramsey, and I told him, I said, if you want to work on your marriage with your wife, then make sure she doesn't have a budget. That's how you improve your, because I can tell you, there's been times in my life where my wife, if I try to get her to give me the number she needs for a monthly, how much she needs a month, that's not very happy marriage for me. Not so much for her, but for me, that's really, really painful. So I would say that's how we're going to get them, because you really just have to figure out what is it that somebody's trying to accomplish. And the opportunity here is the biggest opportunity you guys are going to see in your lifetime. So I'm going to share with you guys, first of all, full disclosure, nothing I'm about to share are the opinions of EXP, Brent Gove Productions. These are my opinions. Now, after that, I'm going to put you guys on game. All right, so we are about to go on a bull run. How many of you feel that? Right? It is the perfect conditions for this. So, brief introduction, sold a bunch of real estate, beat my head against the wall, everybody says it. For those of you that are trying to build that big real estate team, you listen to what everybody's saying that's done it. You get up to 50 deals and then you wipe down the board and you got to start over every month, and you will wake up and you'll say there's got to be a better way, right? Did the same thing, coaching agents, all the agents around the country, where you got up to a certain point where you have 200, 300 customers and then you lose 25 and you got to go sell 25. It feels the same way as being transactional. Came over to EXP and built an organization that's paid a little over $18 million in revenue share. But do you want to know what the most important number is? 96% margin. If you understand business, you get to keep all the money. Revenue share is a high margin business. It's the most important thing, and it multiplies. There's nothing like it on planet Earth. So I lived in Puerto Rico the last 4 years. That's my son, Braden. Happy birthday, Braden, by the way. Y'all seen Braden? Jacked. It's Braden Carson, my mom and dad, Riggs and Kinley, my wife Amber, my dad, our dumb dog, and then that's Russ. When you live in Puerto Rico, there will be people that just show up unannounced, and that was Russ. Russ showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he ended the family picture. So, beautiful place, living in Dorado Beach East. If you've never been there, it's worth going. The rainbows are on steroids. The beach is amazing. My wife likes to ride on the front of the golf cart and chase the horses around the golf course. Lots of fun stuff, really living our best life for the last 4 years. We moved back to Texas, started doing apartments, did a GP deal, and then I got the calendar of how many meetings that I was going to be in for the next 10 years. And I said, well, that's not what I wanted to do. So we're all in on revenue share and building this company, and it's going to be a great next 3 years, you guys. So one of the things that happened while I was living in Puerto Rico that was fascinating, and if you've ever had anybody ask you this question, you'll know what I mean. They would tell me what there's billionaires like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Peter Schiff, all these crazy cool people that you meet when you live there. And, you know, they'll tell you what all they're doing, and then sure enough, they'll ask me, well, what do you do, Jay? And I'm like, God dang, I got to explain revenue share again, right? And the funny thing about all these people is they were like, oh man, you're the luckiest guy in the world. And I'm like, man, I felt that way, but I didn't really think that they would think that. But they understand how important multiplication and margin is, and passive income. And it's really fascinating to them. So that was really interesting to hear from all these people. It's almost as if they would have traded places with what they had done. And I'm looking at them like, y'all did something magnificent, built these huge companies, but they got all these meetings, all this stress, these they have to put up with every single day. And so super interesting. This is the biggest opportunity in your lives. You're sitting right in front of something that's going to change your life. Probably in the next 3 years, there's probably going to be 250 of you at least making $1 million a year in passive income. Right. Real numbers. So what is our competitive advantage? I'm just fascinated by how amazing a job Leo Pareja has been doing with this company. Dude is a straight up gangster. So it's not just the model, it's the model and the fact that we are at scale with operational excellence. And if you've seen any of these numbers, the things that we're doing at EXP, they ain't being done everywhere else. You guys know that, right? The Fast Cap program, the Team Leader Academy, this was what I used to make $10 million a year selling, was coaching people on how to build teams. We do it for free at EXP. That's an incredible value to people that are coming over to EXP. All the masterminds, it's just so much value that they get as an agent. Process management, support. The numbers on support I'll show you here in a minute are ridiculous. How quickly we're able to solve a problem for someone is insane. And people don't know that till you experience it. How many of you really didn't know how it was going to work in the cloud until you got over here and you're like, oh, this is way better, right? It's faster. Everything is instantly faster. So extremely valuable. Wellness management. Do we care about everybody here? We taking care of people? That's different. That's not happening at these other companies. Building a legacy, obviously the stock, revenue share, all of these things are a huge value prop. And what are we seeing happen across the industry right now? A lot of change, right? Some of these, if you haven't seen these before, I didn't ask if I could use these. I just took them and I'm going to share them. Hopefully they're not mad at me about it. 94% of agents onboarded in less than 24 hours. I can tell you, for those of us who have been here a long time, it didn't used to be that way, y'all. It was a lot harder. So a lot of really cool numbers, as you see. Real-time payments, 63%. You're getting paid. This is the number one thing in brokerage, by the way, right? Rule number one in brokerage is pay your agents on time. You know what rule number two is? Pay your damn agents on time, right? Super important. NPS, this is one of my favorite things that Glenn implemented, and he's absolutely maniacal about it. And if you don't understand how Net Promoter Score works, 77 is off the charts high. Okay, it's not just a 77 like that's average. You take your detractors, which is 1 through 7, or I think it's 1 through 6, and then 7s and 8s are your neutral, and then your 9s and 10s are your promoters. And you divide that and you get a score. The best companies in the world are in the 30s. This is an insane, insane number. Everyone here, just making sure we're measuring every little thing. Are we doing things right? Are we doing things right? This is how you squash the competition. This is how you do it. And they are doing it at an incredible pace. Fast Cap, how many of you have gone through Fast Cap or have put people through it? If you're recruiting people, put them through Fast Cap. It's incredible the results they're getting. It's just starting to kind of pan out, but these agents are closing deals, signed agreements. The average that followed the process, 17 after, a 6-week program, I think, right? So this is nuts. When you get in the business, you don't close 17 deals in your first 6 weeks. You don't put 17 deals under contract. That's not normal. But you do when you go through Fast Cap. These are things the company's doing that we get to leverage to go out and attract people and solve problems for them, right? So this was an interesting stat. We always ask, we want to know. We just weathered a storm the last 18 months. How many of y'all felt that, right? So the number one places people were going was Real, Keller Williams, Epic, LPT. What are people doing going to Coldwell Banker? What in the world's happening? So, where did they come from? Keller, Remax, Coldwell Banker, Century One, blah, 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 right? So interesting, we just weathered the storm of competition trying to come in and take people from us, and we all felt that, right? So we're at a perfect storm right now. It is the best time you could possibly ask for if you're EXP. So the legacy brands. I love Anywhere, because you should be anywhere but there, right? Like, what are you doing? Like, anywhere, like, this is literally, what do you say to someone? What are you doing there? Like, are you serious? Do you not know how to do math? What are we doing? So next, Compass is great. Go listen to their earnings calls. You know what their goal is? Take more from the agents. They literally say it in their earnings calls. That's what their goal is. How y'all gonna be profitable? We're gonna take more from the agents this year. Crazy. It's a competitor, but I don't know what these people are thinking over there. So Gary sells out. You would love him. I love Gary. I think he's great. But it's interesting, right? This is not like, it's kind of like what Leo said. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is. He sold out during the worst time since 1995. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you take chips off the table? These legacy companies cannot innovate and be like us. You guys understand that? Franchise models cannot, they're dying. They're dying. And they're gonna still be around, there's still gonna be some people there, but they cannot add as much value as we can. If we can add more value, where's everybody gonna go? They're all coming, folks. They're all coming. So Remax now, Remax is always up to something sneaky. They updated their logo this year. So, man, watch out. That one cracked me up. Big announcement. Big announcement. Redfin, the race to the bottom. Always knew there's always going to be people that want the cheapest. That's just not our market. There's always that market. There's always someone that'll buy the four tires for $100, right? So, but again, they're sold out. What do they sell out to? Well, the tech is what the value was in, really, but they never could do it profitably. It's kind of a crazy idea anyway. So this is interesting. Also happened while we're here today. All these things are happening. I'm like, are you serious? Really? Now, so why would this happen? I don't know why he stepped down. They're going to try to spin it however they're going to try to spin it. That's fine. But I would be willing to bet that they faced a little bit of headwinds and a little bit of adversity the last couple of weeks. I know they have because they lost one of the top people in their entire company, didn't they? Let's go Spring. Now, if you've been around a while, if you've been in the alpha chat when we used to have one of those and some shit goes wrong, let me tell you, the sky is falling. We got to fix this. We got to do that. Now, our company is agile, and able to move fast. And I'll tell you, you can be a copycat, but if you didn't copy agile as one of your core values, you are in trouble. Agile is extremely important, right? Being agile. So what are these copycat companies doing? Why would you step down? If you start to face attrition at the size that they're at now, they haven't had attrition, right? You think about it. Everything's good when you're growing, and then you get kicked in the nuts. And then you're like, oh, that sucks. What are we gonna do? The sky's falling, everybody's leaving. Like the noise right now at our competitors I don't consider them competitors at all. It's a joke, they're not. But the noise is really loud. And when someone steps down in the face of adversity, that it says a little bit about the company to me. I don't know, it's gonna be hard to replace leadership. So that's just an interesting point. So we've got this Me Too movement that they've been, yeah, literally, you guys all know this, like, me and Al Stasek got on a call with Sharon, actually. I actually respect the heck out of Sharon. The dude he's really good. I like him actually a lot. Respect him. But we got on a call, and after we've only lost one of our alphas. They left, and we're like, what are you doing? And they left. So we got on a call, and we listened to our competition, right? You ever listen to your competition? You ever call and find out what you lose a listing, why someone listed with someone else? I just like to do that. I don't know why, but I don't like to lose it. I want to know what the heck they said that I should have said, right? And so we got on and we listened to the pitch. I was like, they're just saying they're the next us. That's it? That's y'all's movement? Like, they don't have a place their places. We're this like them, but just smaller. It's a big opportunity, y'all. They don't have a value prop. So super interesting. So multiplication versus division. These companies are a fraction of revenue share. They're a fraction of the benefits being provided, a fraction of the training and support, a fraction of collaboration, a fraction of the agents in the industry. They'll never have all of us. They'll never have all of us. A fraction of the value, a fraction of the company dollar to actually improve the company. As they grow, what does growth suck? Cash. So they can't fix problems as quickly as we can. And then when they do something really good, what do? We knock it off and make it better. So, a fraction of the opportunity. I'm going to call them the fractional brokerages from now on. So, facing enormous headwinds, operational inefficiencies, churn of leadership. This is a big deal. As you grow, what got you here won't get you there. Who's heard the book, read or heard that before, right? You get to a certain stage, and then you got to replace leadership with someone who can get you to the next level. That churn of leadership is a grind, and it's difficult, and you got to make tough decisions. And I watched this company and Glenn Sanford move through leadership at the right times, quickly and efficiently, and every time we have, what has happened? Boom, to the next level. We just get better and better and better. Very difficult to do these things. Very, very, very difficult. So cash flow is obviously a challenge. Inability to solve problems quickly. The agent noise gets loud. Sometimes it's not really a problem, but we're making it a problem. Y'all ever done that? We have. We get on those calls, we're like, no, we got to have a box to send out because LPT has one. Let us pickle tomatoes. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, by the way. Gene told me, LPT, lettuce, pickles. I'll never get that out of my head. Lettuce, pickles, tomatoes. Lettuce, pickles. Right. So funny. Yeah. So, and again, when you understand the culture and the core values and what Glenn's about, he runs it through a filter, and that filter is it better for each one of us? And as we get more efficient and we put dollars back in and make it better and better and better, we're just getting further and further ahead of the competition. So I think we're going to be the category killer. I used to think this was the two-horse race, right? Like, man, there's going to be a number one, number two. There's always a competitor, and there will be. But really, I think we're going to be the category killer because it's so difficult to compete in this landscape when you don't have money, right? So boomerang agents, another statistic, 9.2 agents return to EXP every single day. How about that? Think about that. That's a lot. They're going over, the grass isn't greener, people are making promises, they don't deliver on those promises, they get over there and it's like Blockbuster Video and they're like, where do I get my check? And they're like, I'm just going back to EXP. So, super cool. I love this. I have an autographed one of these in one of my offices somewhere. The horse didn't sign it, but the guy that rode the horse did. But that's Secretariat. Have y'all seen Secretariat? One of the craziest things of all time, winning the Triple Crown. Looking back, that never happens. Way, way ahead of the competition. That's where we are right now, guys. That's where we are right now. So why are we back to exponential growth? We survived the Me Too movement. We took on all that onslaught last year, and we survived it. That's a big deal. We're moving into a new era where everybody that left for the opportunity is coming back, y'all. They're coming back. So the grass isn't greener. 95% of the agents aren't at EXP yet, by the way. Is there a big enough market for us to go get a couple 100,000 agents? I think there is. I think there is. Market dynamics. I get on calls every single day with agents all around the country. And I talk to them, and it's interesting where they're at. It's been 3 very difficult years in real estate for most people. Would you guys agree? Yeah. One of the lowest it's been since 95. Like, we're facing some headwinds as far as the challenges in the market. People are more open-minded right now than they've ever been. They've also, because of all of us, been getting picked on to come to EXP for the last 3 years too, right? For the last 7 years. We're all been asking them. So when you ask them, I was thinking about joining EXP anyways, right? And we're starting to hear, if I was going to go somewhere, this is where I would go, right? We're in that pole position. Very, very good stuff. We're at scale with operational excellence. Anything you can do, we can do better. This is the holy grail of why we're going to win. The opportunity is now 10 times bigger than ever. Co-sponsorship, okay. So now, if you would have given any of us the opportunity, I say any of us, when there's a whole bunch of us that are in the alpha group, and if you just said, we're like, yeah, do it just like they did it. We like co-sponsorship. Well, Real had co-sponsorship. It was really good, we thought. It wasn't. It was division, okay? We could split it, and then you split it again, and then you split it again. Next thing you know, you get 10-cent check and your revenue share. Not really the best way to do it. Now, if you'd asked me, I would have been like, dude, just like that. But thankfully, we have Glenn and Leo and people that are smarter than us to make that decision. And so now we have the opportunity that we've never had before. Never before could we look across the room with someone that's not in our revenue share group and help that person go recruit somebody. That is a big deal. That's a big deal. So the game is completely changed now. We're out there trying to do it all ourselves. Man, I don't have that help. I don't have that support. Yeah, you do. This is how you're thinking about it. You have to think strategically. Moving forward, you need to understand what agents and brokers' biggest problems are, what's keeping them from getting to their goal in today's market, and then bring in somebody that can help you get that person. That is a huge, huge opportunity for everyone in this room. There's no reason that you can't recruit. We all have now the ability to line and work together to solve problems and challenges the ways we've never been able to do before. Big deal. And this is going to ignite everyone in this company. I hear you around the pool. Like, when I first got here, I was like, I think 10% of the people here understand it. And then I'm like, boom, bump into somebody else. Hey, man, tell me about this co-sponsor. What do you think? Everybody started to get the buzz. The whole entire company doesn't know about this yet. When everyone understands, you now have the ability to partner with anybody you want in any number of ways that you can think of and create as many revenue share groups as you would like. Let's get it. Are you kidding me? Now the only limitation is the way you're thinking about the problem. That's the only limitation you have. There's no reason you can't get that person you've been trying to get now, right? Super cool, super fun. So, I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, and he had a guy on that won the He won the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and a guy ran up on him and said, it was a young kid, and it was at the combine, and he was running up on him. He's like, I should probably know this person, but I don't. The guy said, man, dude, you came and you helped me when I was at the Boys and Girls Club in Cincinnati, and I made it to the NFL because of you. And he said, man, it really was an impactful thing. You changed my life. And he's like, dude, you changed my life more than I changed yours. And the only thing that we're doing, we get to make a difference in people's lives every single day, and we don't ever have to ask them for money. And that is a blessing. Fulfillment, and Pat McAfee said, man, fulfillment is the only thing worth chasing. That's all it is. The most fulfilling thing in the world is to be able to help somebody and not have to ask them for money. And we get to do that every day here at EXP. So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Jay Kinder.